53 Stockton, 50 Modesto, 55 in Placerville, 32 in Truckee, and 38 in South Lake Tahoe. Right now it is in the 40s across much of the valley, 44 in the capital city, 46 in Vacaville, 45 in Fairfield, 47 in Stockton, 49 Manteca, 47 in Modesto, 20s up in the high country. And as we look towards downtown, a little bit of clearing, but it is cooler than this time yesterday by about 4 degrees. We're going to start to see some of those low clouds and then fog developing as we head through this evening. Tuesday morning starting off cold and foggy once again in those mid to upper 30s across the valley. Single digits to low teens in the high country. 8 degrees in Truckee, 14 degrees in South Lake Tahoe. And another morning with that dense fog advisory. It begins at 2 o'clock in the morning and continues until noon tomorrow. So fog, then some clearing, much like what we had today. 48 in Sacramento, 47 Stockton.
Good evening. So great to have you here. I'm Laura Painter.
And I'm Chris Thomas. We do thank you for joining us at 5:30. Well, listen to this. Sadly, today marks 1 month since that deadly mass shooting at a child's birthday party. It killed 4 people and hurt 13 others in Stockton.
3 of those killed in the shooting were children. Look at their pictures here. They were 8-year-old Maya Lupian, 8-year-old Journey Rose Guerrero, and 14-year-old Amari Peterson. 21-year-old Susano Archuleta was also killed in the attack.
A month later, law enforcement still is yet to announce any arrests connected to that shooting. Here's what deputies have said so far. They believe multiple suspects were involved and multiple guns were used in the attack. They say the suspects had their faces covered and were dressed in all black. Sheriff's office also is yet to confirm if the shooting was gang-related. ABC10's Gabriel Porras has the latest.
After 1 month on Stockton's Lucille Avenue was a scene seemingly frozen in time. Through the bullet holes in this banquet hall, the trash is still on the ground and the decorations are still up from a November night where people gathered to celebrate. Instead, they mourned outside a memorial still standing for the 4 young lives taken here. A scene frozen because for so many, moving on,
they're not doing well.
Seems impossible.
People have survival guilt. People are scared. People are confused.
R.C. Thompson says she and her nonprofit, the Reinvent South Stockton Coalition, have now worked with all the shooting victims. Her own friends, she says, were in the room when at least 50 rounds of gunfire started.
She tourniqueted her own leg and jumped on a child, performed CPR. Okay, there's still people in this world who are angels.
And Thompson says many of them still need help.
The victims are struggling just about wound care and pain management. Many have surgeries. Many of them had places that they're scared to come out of their house. PTSD is real, especially when you're caught in a room that size and there's active shooting.
4 people, including 3 kids, never made it out. 8-year-old Maya Lupian, 8-year-old Journey Rose Guerrero, 14-year-old Amari Peterson, and 21-year-old Susano Archuleta.
Having to bury children around Christmas time is even one of the worst feelings.
Children buried without many answers. As of Monday, authorities have made no arrest or released any photos of the masked gunmen.
The truth is out there. People know who the shooters are. Are they willing to come forth? Do they really truly believe they'll be protected? These are things that need to be taken in consideration.
Thompson says city leaders also need to consider changes.
It's happening over and over again. There has to be places where this city pours money into, right? To keep those that want to be safe and off the streets in safe places. In this moment, we need to reflect and we got to sit in this.
30 days later, the community still sitting in the static scene and searching for hope.
Justice will always stand. You cannot lose hope.
That was our Gabriel Porras reporting. We did reach out to the San Joaquin County Sheriff for an interview, but he declined. Remember, deputies are still searching for the suspects in the mass shooting. If you have any information, call the number you see right here on your screen, 209-946-0600.
In State Matters tonight, from the train that goes nowhere to the fastest passenger rail service in the country. It's fair to say California's high-speed rail project has been called a lot of stuff.
That's right. But as it takes years longer and billions of dollars more than planned, California's once again at odds with the federal government over funding.
Yeah, ABC10 State Matters political reporter Jenny Huh is here now to explain.
Chris, Laura, California is officially moving forward without federal support, dropping its July lawsuit against the Trump administration, which had challenged the slashing of $4 billion in those federal funds. Now, opponents of high-speed rail say that's Governor Newsom admitting defeat, but supporters say the project is still not derailed.
It's on life support right now, and the federal government was smart enough to not keep wasting billions and billions of dollars.
I think the assessment came down to whether or not winning is really winning in this regard.
The divide over California's high-speed rail project continues. State Senators Dave Cortese, a Democrat, and Tony Strickland, a Republican, are chair and vice chair of the Senate Transportation Committee, respectively.
We have a lot of shovel-ready projects, a lot of demand that would be better for the people of California.
Think of Merced. It has a UC campus. When you start connecting those areas by high-speed rail to places like Silicon Valley, the Bay Area, it's really a game changer in terms of economic development.
California High-Speed Rail Authority board member Henry Perea says the state had been preparing for the $4 billion cut.
Which is why we started pivoting to working more with the governor and the state legislature. So the $1 billion that we are getting through 2045 is going to be the money that we need to complete the first operating segment, which is 171 miles between Bakersfield and Merced.
At least $1 billion a year until 2045 under the legislature's renewed Cap and Invest program funded by major polluters.
That sent a very strong signal out into the private sector that California, in spite of the behavior in Washington, D.C., that we were willing to commit funds.
Creating the state's own predictability, as Perea calls it. He says tapping into the private sector has always been a matter of timing. The bidding process is open, including conversations with international investors, and is expected to be finalized in the next 6 months.
The construction and the laying of the tracks will begin early, probably mid next year.
Perea says Bakersfield to Merced will be the first operational high-speed rail track, set to begin operating by 2032. Earlier this year, a railhead was installed in the area, marking historic progress.
Look at it as a launching point. You have to have a beginning point to start laying your track. Why we built the railhead.
High-speed rail is projected to cost between $88 to $128 billion, much more than the anticipated $45 billion when voters approved it in 2008.
Senator Cortese also says the state is holding on to a sliver of hope the president may change his mind once the state can prove that there are economic benefits here. Laura.
Sounds good, Jenny. Thank you. A new year means new laws. Coming up, we'll learn how some of those may impact you.
And the other thing that's likely to impact you this new year is some rain and then some high country snow by the time we get to Friday. Could be a soggy start to 2026. I've got the forecast after the break.
Can you believe it? The new year starts in just a few days.
Oh, my goodness.
Where did the year go, right? Jinx, right? You said
I
the same
know.
thing. And with that, of course, comes new laws that we need to keep in mind.
Yes, ABC10's Gabriel Porras explains some of the statewide laws that could really impact you.
On a slow Saturday in the aisles, shoppers are deciding what to add to the cart. But starting soon in California, there'll be one less decision.
This morning, did they ask you paper or plastic?
No, it's just paper.
Just paper, and for the standard 10 cents. Under Senate Bill 1053 in 2026, that's all stores and pharmacies will be allowed to offer. Many people say,
After the inconvenience, we'll get used to it.
but when it comes to opinions on the law, it's more of a mixed bag.
When I get the plastic bags, I just throw them out, so I think the law is a good idea.
Actually, I don't mind. The paper bags are fine. Plastic, I know they do want to get rid of it.
You know, paper bags are environmental better, but on the same token, how much wood are we using?
And many shoppers question, how many times will this happen?
It already broke. See? See? There it goes.
That's one jar of pickles in the trash.
Paper's cool, but it snaps, it breaks, you know? It's just not strong enough. It's not durable. So I'd rather have the plastic bag, honestly.
Imagine you're all done shopping, you got your paper bags now, but you took a little longer than expected this time. By the time you get back to your car, there's a parking ticket on there. Well, there's a new state law that could help you in that case as well. AB 1229 allows a parking penalty to be waived or reduced if the person ticketed has evidence of homelessness or a financial hardship. SB 40 will cap the price of a 30-day supply of insulin at $35. AB 628 requires landlords to provide a working stove and refrigerator, and the state's minimum wage increases to $16.90 per hour, except for fast food workers whose wages already increased to $20 in 2024. All of the new laws starting January 1st, 2026. Back in the aisles, many stores have already gotten a head start.
They transitioned earlier than I expected them to.
I didn't even see any plastic in there, honestly.
No more plastic, new laws, and in these aisles, one common feeling.
It is what it is.
Gabriel Porras, ABC 10.
Good to know, Gabriel. Thank you. The California Highway Patrol is also highlighting new laws that could impact drivers. Assembly Bill 486 will make it a misdemeanor to possess a key programming device, a key duplicating device, or a signal extender with the intent to commit burglary. Offenders can face up to 6 months in jail and or a $1,000 fine. There's also Assembly Bill 544, which mandates electric bicycles must have a red reflector or a red light with a built-in reflector on the rear during all hours of operation, not just when it's dark out.
And then there's Assembly Bill 390. It expands the slow down and move over law to include any highway maintenance vehicle or car using flashing hazard lights. Now, this means starting January 1st, drivers approaching those cars must move into a lane that is not next to the stopped vehicle or slow down to a safe speed if changing lanes is just not possible.
There are so many more laws going into effect in the new year. ABC 10's To The Point team researched the new laws and created a special to get you ready for the new year. You can watch it now on the ABC 10 app, and we cannot stress enough to please watch those. Really get yourself familiar with all these new laws. As we saw, a lot of them come with some penalties, some new fees, and you're going to be facing possibly some sticker shock, especially after the holidays when all those bills start coming in, those credit card payments from all those gifts.
Exactly. The timing is really important. And of course, you know, with all the construction that we have, you can't avoid it these days.
Yes.
It's good to remember some of those traffic laws that are changing in the new year too,
Yep,
right?
I agree.
Okay. Well, speaking of traffic, next at 5:30, extreme weather being felt all across the country, causing all type of headaches, how it could impact plans to celebrate the new year.
Right now, extreme weather is causing hectic holiday travel across the country. Thousands of flights are delayed and hundreds are canceled as a major winter storm moves from the Midwest into the Northeast.
Yeah, ABC's Rena Roy has a closer look at what to expect.
Wintry weather wreaking havoc across the country during the peak of holiday travel.
Just a bit heavily crowded. Just come here early, you know, be prepared for any delays.
Hundreds of flights canceled in the U.S. today alone and thousands delayed. Major hubs like Atlanta, Chicago, and Detroit the most impacted. The runway at Gerald Ford International Airport in Michigan completely coated in snow. And on the roads, drivers facing near whiteout conditions in places like Iowa.
Zero visibility.
a massive 14-car pileup on I-35. Dozens of cars involved in this pileup in Detroit, shutting down I-75 for a while.
Very slippery, and someone hit me.
In Illinois, winter tornadoes touching down. In the city of Pontiac, you can see trees snapped in half, cars damaged. This backyard trampoline mangled. A tree falling onto the roof of this home.
All of a sudden, it's just really loud, like a big gust is coming through. I look out the window as I'm sitting on the couch, and it's just a wall of gray, and I run back to the bathroom, and I'm like, I should probably be taking cover.
And on the Indiana toll road, these two trucks jackknifing, bringing traffic to a standstill for some time this morning. That major storm now moving into the northeast. You can see giant waves and snow blowing in from Lake Erie over the town of Westfield, New York, southwest of Buffalo.
Unfortunately, travel issues could continue through the week with yet another round of snow expected here in the Northeast on New Year's Eve. At Newark Airport in New Jersey, Rena Roy, ABC News.
And I was just telling Brendan, you know, we had that entire stretch of days where all we had was fog and clouds, not a drop of rain, not a drop of snow. And just as people get ready to travel and, of course, celebrate the new year, here comes the rain and snow.
Right. Mother Nature is a cruel mistress. She likes to play games with us. Why?
I mean, couldn't we have had the Thule fog like over Christmas and New Year's? I mean, if we have to have it, I mean, you know, at least when we want to be out on the roads, and then rain can be earlier. But alas, I'm really just the messenger. I don't control this. I don't make it. I'm just telling you what the data is saying. Here's what we're tracking. The first thing is it's going to be another chilly start to tomorrow morning. We're going to have some more dense fog out there as well. The next system coming in on Wednesday, though, we're going to be watching this pretty closely for what time on Wednesday. Obviously, we would like for that rain to kind of hold off until we, get to midnight. We can ring in the new year. Then it can start to rain maybe some more on Thursday. But it's actually not just a one-and-done day. It's going to be a pretty soggy start to the new year. Widespread rain from Thursday through Friday with snow levels lowering on Friday and continuing at and below the passes through the weekend. All in all, not as big of a storm as what we had just last week. Promise you, not that big of a storm. But nonetheless, it is going to be especially inconvenient on Wednesday and Thursday. Now, this morning, though, it was cold for the second day in a row. We started off Sunday morning at 34 degrees. This morning, we were at 35 in Sacramento, 33 in Stockton, 36 in Modesto. Look at this, though, 7 in South Lake Tahoe and 3 up in Truckee. A very cold start to Monday. Indeed, 45, though, this afternoon. So it wasn't like it was all that warm in the afternoon either. Yeah, we did get a little bit of sun, but that those low clouds, I don't want to necessarily say Thule fog, but certainly those low clouds did stick around for much of the daytime. 53 in Stockton, 50 in Modesto, 55 Placerville, 32 in Truckee is the high today, 38 in South Lake Tahoe. Now, though, we are in the 40s across much of the valley, into those low to mid 40s, 25 up in Truckee, 29 in South Lake Tahoe. Looking towards downtown, it is clear at the moment, no fog, but as we head through the evening, that fog is going to be returning and we'll be back in the 30s by the time we get towards about midnight. Starting off Tuesday morning at about 36 in Sacramento, 38 in Stockton, 38 in Manteca, Modesto and Tracy, 35 up in Colusa, 30s and 40s in the foothills. Single digits to low teens in the high country, 8 degrees in Truckee, 14 in South Lake Tahoe. And again, that fog across the valley, we've got a dense fog advisory going into effect overnight and continuing until noon tomorrow. Tomorrow afternoon, we're going to be in those 40s once again, fog and then some clearing, much like what we saw today. 47 Stockton, 48 Modesto, 48 in Sacramento, 61 Nevada City, 47 in Truckee, and 44 in South Lake Tahoe. As we get to New Year's Eve, though, on Wednesday, we're going to pick up another weather impact alert here. Mainly dry for the first half of Wednesday, but then as we head through the evening, those showers are going to start to overspread the valley. New Year's Day, off and on rain pretty much all day long. Higher snow levels, though, on Thursday till we get closer to the weekend. So you see some clouds moving through tomorrow, but when we get to Wednesday, this is 10 o'clock in the morning, a few scattered showers out there. But for the most part, that rain really comes in by the time we get to the evening. This is 6 p.m. on December 31st, 9 p.m. December 31st. We're still talking about rain. Here we go, New Year 2026 at midnight. We still got some rain out there across the valley. High snow levels right about 8,000 to 9,000 feet through Thursday. So this is going to be mainly rain through January 1st. By the time we get to January 2nd, another round of rain starts to come in. They'll have some colder air with that one. So snow levels are going to come down Friday and Saturday towards and below the passes. And we're just going to be watching for on and off rain across Northern California through about Saturday before it starts to taper off, likely on Sunday. 1 to 2 inches of rain expected in the valley. It's not a big rain event for sure, but it's going to be highly inconvenient because, of course, it's coming in on December 31st and January 1st when a lot of us have plans. We'd maybe like to be outside. Snow levels on Thursday, 8,000 to 9,000 feet. By Friday, down towards the passes, 5,000 to 6,000 feet snow levels as we head into the weekend. So weather impact alert from Wednesday night through Saturday, valley rain, then Sierra snow starts really best on Friday, continuing through the weekend. You're going to have to consider those holiday plans, whether it's the night of Wednesday, whether it's morning during the morning on Thursday, the afternoon Thursday. Just going to be some on and off rain through the holidays, continuing into the weekend, again tapering by the time we get to Sunday. So yeah, not a big storm, but definitely highly inconvenient.
And this is why we do those weather impact alerts to get people ready for what to expect out there, huh?
Yeah, and it's, you know, especially with the holiday. That's a big driver of this particular event. Again, it's not nearly what we saw last week, not nearly as big, but it is just super inconvenient happening the evening of the 31st.
Yeah, definitely a lot to keep in mind for your holiday celebrations.
Yes, whether you're out and about, inside, in the backyard, you got to consider it.
Sounds good. Brendan, thank you. Meanwhile, with the holidays nearly wrapped up, you might be wondering what you should do with your Christmas tree. If you live in Sacramento and have a natural Christmas tree this year, this is for you. Leaf season runs through January, which means you can place up to 5 clean Christmas trees on the street for pickup. Just remove all the lights, decorations, and stands. Make sure to keep them out of any bike lanes and storm drains. The last day to set trees out is February 1st. Otherwise, you'll have to cut it all up yourself and then put it in your organics bin. We're back after this.
Coming up next on the news at 6, a man died while saving his grandchildren from a fire. And tonight, we speak to his son, who shares his father's last moments. But first, we know the new year is almost here. Still hard to believe.
I can't believe it.
Tonight, we have a sneak peek at the Sky River Casino Fire and Ice themed New Year celebration.
Yes, check it out. The casino in Elk Grove showed off a preview of what's coming, including a Cirque-style light-up contortion performance. The full celebration is New Year's Eve at Sky River Casino with live DJs, food and drinks, and a midnight countdown. And arguably the best part here, it's all free and open to the public.
And
Looks
it's inside with the possible rain that we're tracking, too.
I like that idea. Avoid the elements.
News.